What's going on, guys? It is Sheeprampage here, and Hello Guest is finally out. The alpha, at least. I've been so excited for this release since the demo, and let's just say the game doesn't disappoint me slightly. Today I'll be going over the game and showing the ending cutscene and an overall view of the new game that we're finally playing. Now, before this video starts, I want to thank you guys for 300 subs. It means a lot to me, and I'm so excited that we're already able to get there. Anyway, let's get right into it. So the first thing I wanted to say about the game is, wow, it looks amazing. It has a unique art style to it and really looks like some time was put into basic aesthetics of the game, and it gives an amazing jungle abandoned type look. Once you start the game, you have the options between two characters, Beatrix and Quentin. After that, a small cutscene is played on how each character arrived to the park. Anyway, once the game officially starts, the map we talked about earlier is given to you and shows a quick tour of the whole world. You go from the entrance to the house where you clock in with a literal clock with a phone to call in, I guess. Now, after that cutscene, you can walk out of the house and a little more cutscene is shown of the guest on a big statue, and some sort of lightning strike will come down depending on which character you are to start the game. When walking around, there are basic rules. The guest is chasing you around the map and will only come when looking away. The guest will freeze in sight of you and fears any sort of light or like fire extinguisher and will run away at the sight of them. While walking around, there are some vandals who are trying to hinder your progress. They're there to break down the park, and you're responsible for it. Getting near them or shining a light makes them run away and keeps them from bothering you. And over time, these angry vandals will even come in with fire, and you eventually have to extinguish these fires from the park. At the end of each day, your defense of the park is assessed, and you can go to the store to purchase items that will help you in the future from the money you were given via a paycheck. Anyway, with the basics out of the way, it's time to discuss the puzzles in the game. There are 3 houses accessible on the map. One we will call the Tram Room, the second the main puzzle room, and of course, the main house where you spawn in. The puzzle starts in your own house. Around the back, there is a platform that can be jumped on, and as you do this parkour, you will eventually get yourself into the attic, where there are a bunch of items, including a light, camera, wire, fire extinguisher, and a key. After leaving this area, you then head into the Tram Room. When walking up it, there are 4 rooms. 2 being locked, 1 half open, and another that's just completely empty. The way to access this door is a relatively simple process and involves parkouring to the top of the house. When you reach the top, there are a few things that you can see. One is a converter, which mixes items to make new ones. There are also a few holes, one leading to the tram, another leading to the open door room, and the final one leads to the half-open room that is being covered by a generator. All you need to do is jump down and remove that generator, and the door can now be open to leave, and you also have a generator to bring home, which you will need. Once that stuff is acquired, it's time to get some money, because for right now, we have a generator, a wire, a fire extinguisher, plus 1 more in the spawn, and a few other things we will need. Next is to go and stop these vandals. Go hunt them down and stop them to earn money until the end of the day. Also, there are a few items that you don't need, so at the end of this video, if there's some things that you have that are extra, feel free to put them in the recycler that is at the beginning of the map to give yourself some extra money and make it easier. Once you have enough money, you need to go into the shop and buy yourself 2 more wires, a gas tank, and a little monitor screen. Next day of work needs to start back at the Tram Room, bringing a generator, a gas tank, 2 wires, and a fire extinguisher. The next task is to go back to the converter room in the little tram house and power it on. You do this by plugging in the 2 holes on the converter to 2 of the 4 holes in the generator placed down, which they do not matter. Once done, you turn on the generator powering on the converter. Next is to make a mix. There are many types, but the one we're going to be using is a gas tank and a fire extinguisher. You need to take both of these items after powering on the generator by just throwing them into the big, like, funnel thing. And eventually you'll be able to press a switch once you put both of them in, and it will spit out a small little item. The small little item made is a pair of bouncy shoes, which don't sound that useful right now, but is super important for a mechanic that is learned later in the game. The final thing you need to do is head over to the final puzzle room, which I will show on the screen here. Now that you have everything, you're going to need to bring everything over there, and we have a lot of stuff, so it's going to take multiple trips, but just listen to what you need to prioritize first. What is first is to bring a key to this part of the map and unlock the door. A cool little tip I saw in Devil's video that helped me when doing the puzzle is to bring the light and block off the entrance so the guests cannot come in and get you while you're doing this, which is super helpful considering I spent time trying to figure out this puzzle completely and kept getting killed by the guest. Anyway, the first thing you do is place the generator down again and use the 3 wires to plug in and power the house doors with their plugs. Once turned on, there are 2 buttons with numbers. Press 1 to start puzzle 1. A light will appear in a little box to your left, and what you're going to want to do is use the little twister things and correlate them to the light. So for example, the leftmost one, the first light, you'll be using the top little twister thing, and solve the little puzzle 4 times until they stop glowing. Once this is finally done, you'll need the key again, because you will walk up the stairs to the room and use the key to get inside. Once you've finally gotten yourself inside, you'll see a little shaft that puzzle you just did open, and you can now walk inside. There's a little compartment here, and you just need to throw something on it to open it up, and you'll see a whole little new section of this house. Now this is where the mechanics come in the most. What you're going to want to do is equip the bouncy shoes, have the camera on you, and also bring a fire extinguisher. What you're going to do is, if you time it correctly, you can jump and shoot the fire extinguisher at the same time to fly yourself up. You're going to have to do a little bit of parkour, but eventually you can see that there is another mechanism with the 4 lights. Now this is what the second puzzle is going to be for, and these are timed, so you're going to need to do this quick, and that's why you want to set up yourself a camera, so that way you can just go in and check and see the lights fast. Once you finally place the camera, you're going to want to gently float yourself down back onto the ground and go back to the little puzzle section and press the second button. This is going to be where you pull the expensive monitor out and look at the camera, positioning it how you want to show the lights that are shining. Now you're going to want to do the same exact thing as we did before, except for looking at the camera until you have all 4 lights complete on the other side of this little pillar. Once you have this step complete, you need to use this little mechanic with the spring boots one more time, flying yourself up, doing the parkour again, and you will see that there is another door on top that is completely open now. Through this door, you'll be inside of an attic, which is actually a screenshot from the Hello Guest game site for the trailer. And there's some broken windows which you can walk through. Once you walk through these, you're going to slide down a chain link fence and go towards a red light where, spoiler alert, the final cutscene will be played.
What?
Anyway guys, that is pretty much going to be it for this video. This video took forever. From the moment Hello Guest came out, I've been working on beating the game and making this video. So if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get to 400 subs as soon as possible. And with that being said, I have a ton more videos coming out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.